What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Power Book 4 Force, you guys, Season 2, Episode 7. Now, I'm sorry that this video is late, you guys. Had a long day yesterday, so we are here with it, and then Love and Marriage is gonna follow. But this is like I said, Season 2, Episode 7. The episode is titled Chicago is Heating Up, you guys. So before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Power Book 4 Force, shall we? All right, you guys. So I'm going to start up with Stacy. So the thing with Stacy is, you guys, Stacy, I feel she is going to meet the same fate as so many others in the past, right? Stacy is so overly eager and gung-ho to bring down Tommy, to bring down the cartel. She is just, she just too eager for me, you guys. So we see her in this episode. So we see her earlier in the episode, and she was talking to, her men, right, about the projects, right? And they do know that the Serbs hit the projects. They do know that it's because of Tommy. But at this point, they have nothing linking Tommy to the Serbs hitting. They don't have anything concrete to present to present before a grand jury or whoever, right? They have nothing at this point. So at this point, Stacy feels as if Vic is holding things back from her, and absolutely Vic is holding things back from her. So what she wants to do is she wants to go for court on him. I'm like, if you do all this stuff that you want to do to Vic, that's going to show Vic's hand, and is going to show Tommy that Vic is in fact a CI. So everything that you want to do to Vic is going to backfire on you, right? And we'll talk about that as we get into the episode. So then Lori came down to her asking her, like, what the fuck is going on? And she wants to know what Stacy got. And like I said, at this point, Stacy has not a damn thing. So Stacy says that, she has a high level intel because she has a CI that has infiltrated, the CBI organization. She knows that Tommy is trying to work his way up to be the connect for everybody. But again, she has nothing concrete and nothing that she can, present before anybody. Everything that she has is circumstantial at best, right? We see Stacy, she has Vic in her office and she's just doing the most, right? And so she told her team at one point that she wanted to crowd him, and they were like, that's not gonna be a good idea, girl. Like, Tommy is way too smart for that, and if he senses anything, he's going to be spooked. And I'm like, exactly. Like, Stacy, like I said, she is way too eager for anything, and I think that it's all going to backfire, and it's going to end up in her demise, right? You're going to suffer the same fate as, again, so many, it's the interesting thing when it comes to the law enforcement in the Power universe. Everybody is as Roxanne calls, just called Sachs, overly dedicated. Everybody is overly dedicated. Think about book 3, the cop that is working, that white lady cop. She is the same way as she is like that. Blanca's like that. Sachs was like that. Like it's like a dog with a bone, right? So at one point, Stacy had, she was talking to Vic. She was telling him she wants whatever she wants whatever. She wants Tommy's phone number. He was like, he changes the phone because he's sensing things, right? But she asked him, is Tommy running the show? He told her, yeah, his point right now is to be the main plug for everybody. So he told her that there was a meeting, and so she wants him to wear a wire. So you guys remember the cop in last week's episode that, Vic spotted that was watching them. He's doing it again in this week's episode, right? And so, what happened later, we'll talk about it more deeper, but the guy got made by Tommy when he was talking to Vic at one point. The guy got made. So at this point, the guy is giving Victor this medallion, that, this little chain piece that he can put on, right? He can flip it on so that way once he gets to the meeting, flip it on and record it. But I'm like, here's the thing. That's a dumb plan. That's the dumbest plan. Because if someone's recording it and then y'all present it to the judge and the jury, common sense would be like, well, it wasn't them because I called the meeting with them, so they're not setting me up. Common sense would tell Tommy, it's the motherfucker beside me, Vic. Like, y'all are just, Stacy, like I said, doing the dumbest shit. But he does tell Vic that if he needs to ditch the wire, just ditch it. And I'm like, Vic, you shouldn't even put this motherfucker on in the first place. And so he also wanted he wanted Vic to put a tracker on Tommy's car. I'm like, that is so, everything that we're doing is dumb. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that, and we'll pause here and we're gonna move forward. All right, you guys, so next up, let's talk about Shanti and Claudia in this episode. So, you remember last week's episode that Claudia found that private party, right? Where they're selling the drugs, right? So, remember, Claudia went to Jannard to get Jannard's help. So, Shanti went to Claudia to offer up her services and her assistance, right? Because Claudia has the drugs that she needs to be distributed, right? But Shanti has girls that she can, get to help Claudia with that. Claudia is looking at her like, girl, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, run down your resume to me, right? So Shanti, she hit her with who she is. And so they're going to go into business with each other, right? Because they both, at this point, basically need each other. So Claudia tells her, okay, well, we can do this, but it'll be a 60-40 split. And Shanti's like, girl, fuck that. I'm out of here. And then Claudia was like, okay, hold on. Maybe we can do this 50-50 and keep the guys out of it, right? Keep this away from CBI. So we see Claudia and Shanti as they're at the club, right? And we see all of Shanti's girls and they going around making their rounds and they are making the money. So Claudia and Shanti, they in business, right? So at one point we see Claudia and her homegirl. So they were sitting down, and when they were sitting down, that's when this guy came up to them and he had a pocket knife, right? He put it up to Claudia's thigh and basically told Claudia, told Claudia and her homegirl, give me all your jewelry that you got on, right? So he took their jewelry. Bad mistake for that brother, because the next thing we see, Claudia went and got Shanti, and so Shanti told the dude, give my friend her shit back. He was like, bitch, he was basically like, bitch, fuck you. And she was like, nigga, I said give her shit back. He said, nah, better yet, you give me your shit. Shanti went up and just pop, laid his ass the fuck out. I was like, you learned your lesson, sir. And then she had a gun in her underwear, I guess, right? And she put it on him, and that was it. So the next thing we see with Shanti and Claudia, they're at Claudia's crib, right? So Claudia is talking to Shanti. So they're going to stay in business with each other for the time being, right? Because it's mutually beneficial for both of them. And so Claudia, then we see her later as she was talking to her friend. And so her friend was like, I think we could, she wants to go to multiple clubs. And Claudia was like, I don't know about that. And then she was like, well, what about Shanti? And old girl was like, I don't give a fuck about her. This is me and you. And then Claudia was also said, I don't know anybody in the club. And the old girl was like, I got that. My mom knows some people, so we're good to go on that front. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess. I'm going to wrap this up right here because there's another scene with Shanti that I want to talk about, but we'll talk about it as we get closer. We'll get back into it as we get into it, you guys. So let's pause here and move forward, and we're going to start to wrap the episode on up. All right, you guys. So the episode opens up, and we see Tommy and Maria. So him and Maria, they hot and heavy, they getting it in, right? Until there's a knock at Tommy's door. And who do you guys think that is at Tommy's door? You guessed it, it's Miguel, right? So Tommy told Maria, go hide, right? So Maria went and hid, and Miguel came in. And so Miguel was looking around. I was like, do you think that somebody else is here? Do you think it's your sister, right? Now, they almost got made because Maria's badge was on Tommy's table, and Tommy quickly grabbed the badge and put it in his back pocket, right? So Miguel came over to discuss the Serbs and, the situation that's going on with them. And so Tommy he's talking about telling Tommy not to retaliate against the Serbs, right? So Tommy's like, nah, we're not going to retaliate, but what we can do is you can cut the Serbs off. And so and that'll send a message to them. And Miguel says, but he'll talk to Che, but he needs for Tommy at this point to just stand down. And Tommy was like, cool, we got it. So then we see Diamond's PO, right? So Diamond's PO came over to give him a drug test. And so he's telling him, about the projects, right? So there's going to be a fundraiser that's coming up. So he is asking Diamond to come out and to speak at the fundraiser. And he's also asking Diamond to denounce himself from CBI. And Diamond's like, I'll speak, but as far as denouncing myself from CBI, that ain't happening because that is, that kind of sentence, right? So he's not going to do that. So at first, Diamond was reluctant about speaking, but he talked him into it, right? So after that, we see as this dude, his name was, what was that dude's name? Whatever that nigga's name was. I don't care what his name was. Whoever he was talking to Shanti, right? So he's basically telling Shanti how people feel that she picked the wrong brother, basically, in Diamond and Jannar. Because we still know Jannar was out there previously sniffing his own product, smoking his own product, and doing all that kind of stuff, right? So everybody in the streets feel like Shanti is betting on the wrong brother. And so Shanti must have put this nigga in a chokehold and pushed his head down. And she was like, motherfucker, if anybody talks shit about me, you better stop it. Because she was like, y'all out there talking like some hoes. I mean, it's just as bad as her last week when she told Jannar to step his pussy up. I was like, damn. One thing I will say about Shanti, I do like Shanti, but I think that Shanti is, unfortunately, like I said, I didn't think that Jannar was going to make it out this season. I do feel like Jannar may make it out this season. I actually feel like Shanti may make it out this season, right? But I feel like the tides are going to turn with those two. I feel like, I think eventually Tommy and Diamond are going to see through them, and it's going to be lights out for one of the two, probably both. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, you guys. So we then see Tommy and Diamond, right? So they are talking to the crews, right? They got everybody together. Now, everybody is not really 100% wanting to work with one another because they don't trust each other, right? But Diamond and Tommy told them, like, stand down. Like, we can all work together and make the money. So Jannar asked them about the Serbs and, what are they going to do to the Serbs? And, Tommy was like, we're not going to do anything to the Serbs at this point. We're going to let it go. And so, there's also talking about moving up west, right? Because, they got Garfield Park and all that stuff. So they're going to be moving west. And they also need to talk to DN something. I forgot what that crew was. So they need to talk to another crew. And I think it's a Hispanic crew, but we'll get into them later in the episode, right? So next up, we see Jannar. So he was talking to Vic, and he's questioning Vic, like, you working with Tommy, after your old man died, so your sister kicked you out. He was like, she wishes she was kicking me out, right? But then he said, but you came and answered her door. He was like, yeah, your sister did come to me with a deal, but he turned it down, right? So Vic tells him, what Tommy is doing for us is good for all of us. So it's good if you just kind of, let go of that beef with him. He was like, keep that kumbaya bullshit, right? So after that, we see Tommy and Diamond. So they're talking about the situation with Miguel. So Tommy told Diamond that he asked Miguel to basically cut off the Serbs, right? And, once again, they were talking about that other crew that they're trying to get. So, what if you guys haven't put two and two together? Tommy is, like I said, we all know Tommy's trying to be the connect. So he's going to crew after crew after crew to bring them under his wing, so that way he can be the only person that they go to cut Miguel out. We'll talk about Miguel too in a little bit. So after that, we then see as so this is back to Shanti. So this is after Shanti has done all of her business with Claudia, right? So we saw Shanti, she went back to her gym, right? Or I don't know if she lives up above her gym or what, but we remember the last time we saw Jannar in her office, he stole that necklace, right? Well, in this episode, Jannar got the necklace back. I was like, okay. I was wondering, how in the hell did he get this necklace back? Because you gave her necklace away for some drugs. So I was kind of confused as to how he got it back. But he got it back and she was happy, right? So Jannar let her know about this situation with Tommy. Now, did this? I'm trying to think. This hasn't happened yet. So there's a situation with Tommy. Well, we all know Tommy is having sex with Maria, right? Well, Jannard found that out, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, right? But he also found out about Shanti, working with Claudia, and he was pissed off about it. But not Claudia, but Shanti talked him into that this would be a good thing for all of them involved. And, I think it might be a good thing for them, but I also think that this is, like I said, I just think this is going to backfire. Like, there's a lot of things that and we got 2 episodes left, right? No, we got 3 because it's episode 7. But yeah, I honestly feel like this situation with Shanti and Jannard, I really do think it's going to backfire. I don't think it's going to work out the way that she thinks it is. I think she is getting in over her head. I know I really do think that she's going to get in over her head, and it's not going to end the way that she thinks it's going to end. You know what I will say, though? With Shanti, I'll tell you guys somebody that she reminds me of. She literally reminds me of Jukebox when we met her, although she's not a dirty cop. The way that Jukebox acted in Power is the way that Shanti acts to me, you guys. So, next up we see Miguel. So Miguel went to go see Che, right? Now, Che is pissed off with Miguel, thinking that Miguel is fucking up the business, right? And Miguel told him, like, I haven't even done anything to the Serbs after they've stole my product. They did this to me. I haven't done anything to them because of you. So he's trying to let Che know, like, I haven't retaliated against them at all. So he's asking Che to cut the Serbs off, right? Now, they were speaking in Spanish, and I couldn't be, I was trying to read them subtitles, but them subtitles were going by mighty fast, you guys. But that's the gist of the conversation that, he wants Che to cut Serbs off, right? Like I said, it was a lot of subtitles in this episode with Miguel, right? Miguel and Che, Miguel and his grandmother. It was a whole lot of subtitles. So we see Che. So Che actually did end up meeting with the Serbs, right? And, Miguel was asking, not Miguel, but Che was asking for Merkovich to end this feud that he has with Miguel, right? And so Merkovich put the blame on Miguel and him working with Tommy. And so Che was like, either, you do that, or I'll cut you off, or even better, you can get down on your knees and beg me at this point. And Merkovich was like, I'm not gonna beg you for nothing. And so he was like, okay, it's a done deal. You're cut off. I was like, oh, so what is he gonna do now? Back to Jannard and Shanti. So they did the nasty, right? And he was having withdrawals, and he decided to leave. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be a good thing for him. Like, so he's trying to quit the drugs cold turkey, and I was like, I just don't see this working out the way that Shanti thinks is gonna work out. So we did see, as the one dude that was talking to Shanti earlier in the episode, he was trying to put seeds of doubt into Jannard's head about Tommy. I was like, dude, you just got your ass yoked up not too long ago. I would kind of ixnay the situation and let it be. But nope, he's going to try to put seeds of doubt about how, so at this point, Tommy got them being corner boys, and he feels a way about it. I'm like, it's better be a corner boy than nothing at all, or be 6 feet under, because Jannard had debt that he wasn't paying, and he was smoking up his own product. And you just talked about that to Shanti, but now you finna sit here and try to make him feel some type of way about being a corner boy. Sir, do Shanti need to yoke you up again? Because I feel like that's what needs to happen at this point, is that she needs to yoke you up again, because shut up. So we see Tommy and Vic as well. So they are, this is the point I was talking about earlier, where they were out and about, and they were being watched by old boy. Now, mind you, Tommy noticed old boy, because he gave Vic a new phone, and Vic said, so we changed your phones? He said, yeah, we're going to change them out every day. And so, like I said, he spotted the Fed. He told Vic about it, and Vic looked. I was like, ooh, Vic, that's your ass. Because if Tommy has already made this man, then it's only a matter of time before he finds you with this dude and makes it that you are a snitch. So after that, we do see them as they went to go meet Shanti at the boxing gym, right? So Shanti got a whole lot of attitude, and Tommy likes it, right? So they introduced themselves, and so Vic got a call from the cop to meet him, and when they met up with each other, he told the cop like, "Yo, Tommy made you, my nigga. Like, what are you doing?" And so back to Tommy. Well, he actually called him on the phone and they were talking. So back to Tommy. Tommy told Shanti that don't see Jannard being a corner boy as a loss. I was like, I agree with that. Because again, like I just said, Tommy doesn't know it, but we know it. Jannard has been sniffing his own product, number one. Jannard Tommy knows about the debts to the Serbs and to Miguel. He wasn't paying it. So why would you take somebody who was unreliable when he was running his own organization, and now you want to bring him back into the fold and say, oh, you are high ranking at this point? Nah, you got to work your way back up. And that's what Tommy said. You got to work, the trust. You got to work that back in. And I agree with Tommy in that situation, right? So I've already talked about, I got ahead of myself with old boy, right? What is his name? I don't even know what that dude's name. If you guys know that dude's name, leave it down in the comment section. So we see Diamond. So Diamond stopped by Leon's house, right? And, he asked Leon, is everything okay? And Leon said that, we good. So Diamond is inviting Leon and his mama out to, him at the fundraiser speaking. I was like, Diamond, why don't you just say what you really want to say, buddy? Ask the mama for some meow, because it's some sexual tension between both you and that mama. So we see, this is the scene that I was talking about earlier with Jannard. So Jannard was outside of Tommy's apartment, pissed off with a gun in his hand. And I was like, dude, at that point I was thinking that Jannard was high because back to the scene with old boy, somebody that was on the corner selling some drugs came up to Jannard and asked him, what did he want? Like he got powder, he got the rock, he got all this kind of stuff. I was like, I do believe Jannard might have taken a little bump of something, because that's what it was given. Like everything in this episode gave that Jannard had took a bump of something. That's just my personal opinion, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. So he saw Maria as she pulled up, and he took pictures of Maria. So he wants to blast this to Miguel. Back over to Shanti, he told Shanti that, and Shanti was like, nah, let's let Tommy fuck his own stuff over. I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense to me. But Jannard, like I said, nothing with Jannard makes any sense. He doesn't think clearly. Like Jannard is a hothead. He is a hothead, and he thinks nothing through. So when he saw them together, they went inside, and Maria is feeling a way about them messing around with each other because she previously messed with someone who worked with Miguel, and that person, Miguel, took him out. So she's worried that the same thing will happen to Tommy. I'm like, girl, that's not going to happen to Tommy. This is his show, so they're not going to take out the star of their show just yet. So we then see Tommy and Diamond. So they went to Miguel, and they asked Miguel for more product, but at a lower rate. And Miguel was like, fuck that. Like, no. But he eventually told them, like, if I do this and you guys fuck me over, I'm gonna fuck you guys over even worse, right? So Diamond says to Tommy, after they left, that this meeting with DSD, he's not gonna be able to make it because he's going to be going to that fundraiser, right? And Tommy was like, no, you gotta come. But then he said, you know what? You handle what you gotta handle. I'll go to this meeting and take care of it, right? So we see Diamond, so he's at the fundraiser and he's giving his speech, right? Now, when he first started that speech, I was like, you can literally, first of all, you see him with the paper in his hand. Secondly, you can hear the fact that he was reading from a paper. I was like, Diamond, we can literally hear you reading. But he put the paper down and he just spoke from the heart, right? So after that, Leon and his mom, they were giving him his congratulations and telling him how good he did. And so Leon went to go get some shaved ice. When Leon went to go get the shaved ice, Diamond asked the mom out on a date, and she was like, okay. So then the next scene, you guys, we have Miguel. So Miguel was talking to his abuela, and, she was just basically giving him the rundown, like, your grandfather, the reason why he's where he is now is because he got complacent in business and people came in and, ran him out or took him out, so to speak, right? And so she doesn't want that to happen to Miguel. And Miguel's like, it's not gonna happen. She's talking about Tommy. She's like, yes, it will. And I was like, exactly, yes, it absolutely will. Because she thinks that Tommy's trying to be the main connector, right? And he was like, he doesn't know Che. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. He can find a way to meet Che. Then he was like, he was gonna go talk to DSD, and she's like, they're not gonna work with us. And so he was like, with everything that Tommy's done, it opens up a door for him. And basically, he's gotten cocky and saying that they ain't gonna have no other choice but to make a deal with him. I was like, you sure about that? You sure about that? I was like, well, hey, if that's what you want to believe, Miguel, go ahead and believe it. But I think you might be being a little bit foolish, because at one point, that's what Diamond said to Tommy, like, Miguel is going to eventually figure out that we're trying to take over his spot. And so, yeah, I think by the time that Miguel finally figures it out, they're going to be done already knocked him out of his spot. So we see Tommy, so him and Vic went to the meeting. And as they got there, someone blasted Tommy's window out, right? So they checked Tommy and Vic to make sure that they didn't have any weapons on them. So they went in and they met with this guy named Chavo. And so Tommy gave Chavo the deal. And, Chavo was like, let me think about it. I got to think about my deal with the Serbs. And Tommy told him the Serbs are cut off from, Che. So it's either you make a deal with us or you ain't going to have no product to sell. So eventually Chavo shook Tommy's hand and said, you got a deal, right? So after that, we see Diamond. And so Diamond is with Leon's mama. So she was like, she wanted to stay in for the night and have dinner. And she took that dress off that she tied on, and she was ready for some Diamond, D-I-C-K. I was like, ma'am, it's about time. We knew that was going to happen. So at the end of the episode, you guys, Victor. All right, you guys. So at the end of the episode, Vic. Remember, this cop. Again, like I said earlier, when it comes to Stacy and her team, I think that they're just going to make so many foolish mistakes. So many other people have tried to take Tommy down. Tommy, Ghost, Tariq, everybody that's been affiliated with him, and they've been unsuccessful and they have failed. Tommy is a very smart person. He's been in the streets for a very long time. So it's going to take a lot to get him, right? Remember, I told you guys earlier in the review that Tommy made that cop out, right? And so he dropped Vic off at his car. Vic got in his car. I was like, Vic, please don't do something so stupid and meet up with this dude. I was just like, you would be really, really dumb to meet up with this dude right after Tommy just dropped you off. And you know for a fact that Tommy already made the man out. Like, I was just sitting there thinking to myself, Victor, don't do this. Like, that would be, bing, bing, bing to you. Like, so Vic got out the car, got in his car. Tommy drove off. He didn't go very far. He spotted the same cop. And I was like, you're stupid as well. He told you that Tommy had made you out, but you continued to follow the man. Like, what the fuck was, like, I was just sitting there like, this is dumb as hell. Like, I was just flabbergasted by it, you guys. So, like I said, Tommy made the guy out. Tommy found the guy. Who was he talking to? Victor. Now, what I will say is Vic took that necklace off and tossed it. I thought Tommy had made Vic, because when he let Vic out of the car, Vic had that around his neck. And I was like, Tommy, you don't recognize that Victor has never worn this thing before? Like, he's never worn it. But so Tommy found them and he's like, what the fuck is this? Are you a snitch, Vic? And Vic was like, nah, man, he found me. He cornered me. And so he was like, in order for you to prove that you're not, you know what you got to do to prove that you're not a snitch. So Victor took his gun out, and the cop's like, no, Victor, you don't have to do this. I was like, dude, he does. If Stacy wants her now how is she gonna play that? Because, I mean, this is all on her. But Vic took the gun out and blasted the man away. I was like, well, that was stupid. Like, the thing is, Victor told you that Tommy had made you out, but you continued to follow behind them. Why? That was just the dumbest thing that I saw. Like, I thought that was so incredibly stupid to keep following him, but he's telling you that he's made you out. But that was the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on, you guys. Share the video, and until the next time, please stay safe out there, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So, next one is Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I don't feel like that's going to be up today. It might be up on Tuesday. You might see it early Tuesday morning, you guys. I might record it later tonight and upload it tomorrow. And I'm sorry that these videos are late, but you guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.